It's a showdown 1 month in the making. "23 racers have given their all on their quest to this. A spot in the final 14 for the R.S.01 Trophy. Tonight these drivers will test their skills against each other, against their cars, and the 3 tracks set out before them. The grid is set. The preparation complete. There's just one question left to answer. Who is our R.S.01 champion?
Side by side, are they going to go 3 wide? Surely not. Maybe even 4 wide. There's someone on the inside here. Absolutely not. It's definitely 3 wide. There is someone into turn number 1, side by side. McEwen on the outside. Can they get through? They can, and Norm has managed to jump from 5th position on the grid. He's done the whole shot. Oh, but he clips the wall. Side on, round the outside. He tries to do it round the outside. Surely not. That's going to give him the inside. 14, the 6th place. Oh, Ricardo! Whoa! Ricardo gets it wrong. And all the drivers still so close together. And it couldn't be much more closer between the front 3 positions.
Hello and welcome to a special grand finals stream of the R.S.01 Trophy. I am of course your host Monkey Matt, joined by EVP below me here. Welcome in.
Hey, thanks for having me in. I'm so excited to be here for the grand final night of the R.S.01 Renault Trophy, this first stage in our virtual reality series. Thanks again for having me as a guest. I have got my cup of tea ready, streaming this one from home, and I've got a keen eye on the field we've got ahead. You can see the names ticking by on our right-hand side, the likes of Scooter82, who has defeated all of the internet goblins to be with us here today. You've got McEwen, Psydog, all the way down the line. You've got the likes of Honorably Airborne, looking resplendent in his weekly new liveries. From go to woe, we are set for just an explosive finals night of racing.
Exactly right. It is the final. We have narrowed it down to the 14 best drivers in the series. Gonna be absolutely massive. I'm excited because all these guys are top drivers. All the names that Evie was just listing off, and everyone else that's on this grid. We really have found the best talent we can. Literally some World Tour attendees in amongst it. Gonna be absolutely massive tonight, and we have 3 races. The special finals format. We might be in lockdown and be separating physically, but it's still the same excitement feeling, even more so than normal, because like I say, 3 races, it's the finals night, it all is on the line, and I am super amped to get into it. Race number 1, of course, is going to be at Fuji. It is our one make series, the R.S.01 Trophy, just a few minutes away from getting underway. And race number 1, sprint race format on the soft tires, only 5 laps, not too long. It is quite a long track though here at Fuji, but 1 times tire wear, 1 times fuel consumption. It's just flat out lights the flag.
Yeah, this track is just a fantastic one. And a bit of a veteran in terms of Gran Turismo titles. I'm keen to see how these drivers attack it. I've got some unique experience of this racetrack, particularly upside down, so I'm sure we won't see any of that sort of behavior tonight, but I'm sure we're going to see sparks fly as soon as they hit the grid.
We are ready to go racing here at race number 1, attempt number 2. The grid has been reset up, and you can see confirmation on your screen there. Dub True Psydog on the front row. Of course, McEwen in 3rd as well. Those are your front 3 in the championship, ready to do battle. Let's get on board with our front runner and see how they get away. Oh, we're going to actually see the lights go out first. Let's take a look at that as they go green, and we are racing here at Fuji GP, race number 1 of the grand final. Psydog's got a great start, and W True those trying to get across and cover him off for the lead down into turn number 1. We talked about this being a dramatic moment and trying to get on the brakes early enough there. Dub True does it, covers off the lead. McEwen in the background trying to fight through as well. McEwen actually got the pass. Psydog dropped a couple of places as Stuart McKenzie came through. They all managed to get through T1 reasonably cleanly.
Yeah, Dubtrue did well to cut across Psydog into turn 1, forced the switchback sort of move to the outside for Sidog, and then he got a big squeeze from Stuart McKenzie on the inside as they entered T1, just pushing out as they were all trying to maximize that speed through that corner. And Sidog, unfortunately, has lost out on that. McEwen now jumping up to second. And he'll say thank you very much for that as they start their run through this back straight and into this third sector.
So there it is, Dub True leading them, but this is another opportunity. Sidog's thinking about the move in the background there. He wants to try and find a way past Stuart McKenzie, but all of a sudden Stuart McKenzie looking very close to McEwen as well. Of course, they're all still tight and bunched up on this lap number 1. Scooter 82 in the background, just hanging on ahead of Night Shift in 6th place. But all through the field, it is close. And you look at the mini-map in the top right, and they're all just in the same spot on the track.
Yeah.
Was there a little moment?
Happy to see the name of Night Shift as high up as he is. He's in 6th position and probably happy to make a name for himself. He is right on the tail of Scooter 82 as he gets loose out of the last corner. Let's see if that'll compromise his run down to T1 through here. And of course, he's got those other 2 drivers right in his slipstream.
Slipstream, this is the first time coming down this massive straight. Slipstream definitely playing a role. You can see some guys pulling out, trying to make passes happen. But at the front, W True has got himself enough of a lead that he's hanging on. McEwen dropped back a little bit, but closed that gap using that slipstream down the straight. So lap number 1, W True leads McEwen, leads Stuart McKenzie, and then Sidog still trying to find his way past right here as we go on board with Sidog tucked up under the wing of Stuart McKenzie. Ahead of him in 3rd. Oh, there's a moment there though, he's sliding. Oh, there's no way through. Sidog wanted to find the inside, but he couldn't. He wants to find the inside on the left-hander, but Stuart McKenzie is covering him at every opportunity, trying to defend, trying to hold on to that 3rd spot.
Stuart McKenzie is living a horror movie right now. He looks in his rear vision mirror, and no matter where he is on track, Sidog is right there. Watch how defensive he is into these braking zones. At turn 1 last lap, he was so hard to the inside that he was riding up both wheels on the curb, and he's dangerously close to getting himself a cutting penalty through this last part of the track here. So the man's driving on fear and instinct alone, just 2 laps into the sprint race.
2 laps, of course. It is a 5-lap race, so there's time to try and get past. You don't have to make a desperate dive at any point, but you do want to make moves if you can, and McEwen was thinking about it there into the final corner, and that's actually slowed up his exit a little bit there, so he sort of took a different line definitely from Dub True. Opted for that mid-corner speed, thinking about trying to get to the inside, but that cost him exit speed, which is going to potentially allow Dub True to... Oh, I was going to say hold his spot, but it's going to be close. Dub True has to go defensive down towards the inside of the hairpin. This is a prime overtaking spot, of course, one of the slowest corners on the track as McEwen goes all the way around the outside. Can he get it done? Looking on board now, they're still going to be side by side. McEwen has the inside, though, for the left-hander. It looks like he's going to get the pass done for the lead. Dub True slots into second. Is he thinking about a crossback, though? Straight back up beside him on the other side. Classic racing. You love to see it. And don't forget, Sidog is right here as well. It's a 4-way battle for the lead here on lap number 3.
The pressure is on here for Sidog now that McEwen is fighting for the lead, because
Drew's
if he gets
back
in front, he'll be unleashed. McKenzie, I know there's only one driver behind him, but he is the cork in the bottle for Sidog's championship hopes. Sidog is praying for Dub True to hold on and give him space to get up to the 3rd. It looks like it might happen.
Go for the inside. Sidog's going for it. It's a square situation. 2-2. Are they going to get through there? They're still squiggly. They're still trying to sort themselves out. I think Sidog's done it. He's got himself up into 3rd position. What a move on board there. That was some great racing. And oh my goodness, these 4 drivers, could they be any closer? What a battle.
This is a war between these samurais on Fuji GP. It was just amazing stuff for Sidog, and his work's not done yet. He is tacked right up onto the back of McEwen, and he's looking pretty fighty at the start of this end of this 3rd lap.
And the drivers behind them are not too far away either, so if they keep battling like this, they're going to draw those guys into it. The slipstream down the front straight. Keep an eye on how they try and sort themselves out here into turn number 1. Is anyone going to pull to the inside? No one's pulling to the inside to defend at this stage. They're all just sucking up the slipstream. There we go. Dub True right at the last minute. Now Sidog as well going to the inside. Is it going to be 3 wide into turn number 1? It is 3 wide. Dub True's got the inside. Stuart McKenzie's getting involved. They're 3 wide on the exit. Can you believe this right now? They still haven't figured it out as they head into the left-hander. McEwen's going to have the inside. Surely, can they get through here cleanly? Oh, they've finally sort of solved themselves, but there's plenty of crossbacks. They're 3 wide again. Oh my goodness.
They are banging doors. Elbows are definitely in the out position for this flight around Fuji. Dub True must be looking into his mirrors and thinking to himself, I am glad I'm not either of those three gentlemen, because he has got a dream run through these last couple of laps, and he's starting to build some time to the next runners with this battle just like taking place and holding up the next three in line.
You're exactly right. He has got a little bit of a buffer now after these guys battling it out. They all want those positions. They all want those spots so badly. This is playing into Dubtrue's hand as Psydog is getting a little bit out of shape in the background, trying to get the power down as much as possible. This is what you were talking earlier. These cars are great to drive, but definitely if you overdrive them, you will know about it. But he's still got it under control at this stage. And now 5th and 6th starting to play into it as well.
Oh, this is a terrible race to be watching if you want to keep your heart rate down, because like it's been a thrill a second, let alone a minute, as we've got these top four runners just going line astern for one more lap. Probably the net benefactor of this race so far, oh no, I take it back, was the Ricciardo. He DNF'd or fell out after qualifying and was at 7th last I checked in, but a little error, maybe a hiccup, it's seen him down in 10th position.
Down a little bit. There are battles all the way through the field, but we're keeping an eye on this front one because this is absolutely cracking. As Psydog goes round the outside, can he hang it on round the outside of turn number 1? Dubtrue has the line. Now he's trying to sort of force Psydog tight into turn number 2, but I think Psydog might do it. They're going to carry on side by side. Can you believe this? They're still side by side, turn 3. McEwen wants a piece of it. He's up there as well. W True, Psydog, McEwen covered by nothing. Stuart McKenzie in the background, very close. Psydog's on the grass.
Oh, big
side!
Oh
No! He catches it, but he tags McEwen in the process. Stuart McKenzie slips on straight by into 2nd place. And again, W True let off the hook a little bit, but he's still got Stuart McKenzie right there. This is the last lap as he has to defend the inside once again. Oh my goodness, what is going to happen? There's only a few corners left, a final sector now, but they are a few crucial corners for these guys to get right.
Oh, if you're Psydog, you're smashing your dashboard as you maybe let that position slip through your fingers in that fight. Stuart McKenzie showing that to finish first you have to finish, and it's all to play for with just a couple corners left. Go, Suns!
Oh, W True goes very wide. Stuart McKenzie opts for the inside. W True's going to have to leave him space there, but he's going to get the exit speed. That's what he was hoping for, was all about that exit speed. He's done it. He's pulled away. Psydog now is in the slipstream though. Can he try and claim 2nd as they race down to the line? It is going to be W True picking up the win here at Fuji. Then Stuart McKenzie hangs on to 2nd. Psydog in 3rd, and it's so close between that whole front group. McEwen ends up 4th. Alpha Finn, Scooter 82, Norm, Lapwing. That is the top 8. There's more drivers, more battles here as well. Night Shift coming through. Ricardo, you mentioned it, in 10th place there. And then Mustang Lover. Ethan's not having the race that he wanted, down in 12th. And then Oddly Airborne, Dr. Shocker, rounding up the top 4. Rounding out the 14. But full congratulations to this man, W True. Pole position, clean race, and the win. He hoists the trophy high. Well, hopefully this is updated live, and indeed it has. The championship points on your screen now. McEwen still leads, but his lead has been eaten into by particularly W True there, but it's still so close between those top 3.
Yeah, Psydog's only 4 points back, and you can take the dog out of the fight, but you can't take the fight out of the Psydog, so expect him to want to make amends for things in the next couple of races, and if there's one place we know he is quick, it'll be Mount Panorama.
Sorry, and I'm just looking at the team's championship as well. Are they still tied on points? Is that even possible?
Nothing. No, in this year, 2020, Anno Domino, however you say it, 2020 AD, nothing would surprise me anymore. If they were still tied, I would just shrug, go, okay, I guess we're tied.
We don't have a tiebreaker rule. If they finish the series tied, I don't know what we do. But this is so awesome.
Let's just find a game. Maybe let's just do Fortnite singles. Because they clearly can't sort it out on track.
Yeah. So good though. I absolutely love it. That was race number 1. done of the night, and that's how it impacted the championship point. Norm's still sitting there in 4th. He mentioned he had the fastest lap, and it was mentioned in chat that he actually won the Bathurst race in GT4NZ. The previous season, the previous series, that we ran, there was a final race at Bathurst as well, and he managed to storm through, take the win. Can he produce that here tonight? Because of course the next race we are going into is Bathurst, 5 laps. It is another sprint race. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, Heavy wears the crown for someone like Dub True, who is a previous winner at Bathurst. Like you say, we're keeping it simple yet again for the second sprint. So it's soft tires all the way through, one times tire wear, and just 5 minutes to sort out the front runners from the back markers in that qualifying lap.
There we go, we are here, race number 2 of the grand finals of the R.S.01 Trophy. The lights are about to go out, strap yourselves in, there's 5 laps of high octane racing coming up. And the lights are out and we are off and racing, heading down into turn number 2 at Bathurst. It's W True to the inside, holds it off and got a great jump there as McEwen makes the jump on his teammate Alpha Male Finn. They're going to go side by side, heading down towards now turn number 2. Looks like they all managed to get through turn 1 relatively cleanly, which is great. Credit to all these drivers that they're able to do that. I was actually racing in the 2K Cup yesterday. There was a lot of drivers in that series, but they were nowhere near as clean. We love to see it. Mustang Lover has found his way up into 4th, and now is already thinking about the inside. Is he going to be able to get a move done in the background there? He's up the inside of McEwen, in fact. Is it side by side? Still they come. Oh, and into the wall. Big drama. Is he going to recover? He's dropping spots.
An instance of 2 not quite going into 1 there. Running side by side, he just ran himself out of room and hit the outside wall, and that's cost him 3 positions.
That was rough. We know how much this guy is going to be absolutely pushing to the limit, over the limit on that occasion. Side by side, not the way to go. Is now, surely he's not thinking about the inside there. They're going to head down over the skyline. They're going to go side by side. Mustang Lover not quite going to have it on that occasion. He desperately wants to get past it. Any chance, every corner, he's looking for a way and sliding out of these exits.
Mustang Lover has got the rear end all sort of unsettled. He is throwing that car into each corner, looking for a way past Sidog. Yeah, I guess that's the kind of thing you can do. You can throw caution to the wind when you know it's only 5 laps and then the chicken flag.
Meanwhile, W True has managed to pull himself a handy lead at the front of this pack. Alpha Male Finn currently in 2nd place. And McEwen losing a spot there in all of that madness as Norm jumps up to 3rd, but has lots of pressure on. Oh, looks like there is a sim racing special. Bit of an overtake going on there. Oh no, what happened? McEwen's gone. McEwen's had a big moment. And Mustang Lover's had an even bigger moment. What's happened in the background there?
I can't.
Let's try and catch a replay. Where is Mustang Lover? Oh. Let's see what happened as they headed down into the chase. So McEwen went off in the foreground. He just went too deep. Mustang Lover made it through. What happened on the exit? Oh, he might have got tagged. Oh, that might have been a rejoin there. That might need some investigation at the end of this one. But that is unlucky. Mustang Lover right towards the back now. So we jump back live. And right at the back, in fact.
Yeah, so that is going to be a heck of a recovery drive. Bloody heck is right for Mustang Lover, who is in the last position for his home race here. And then once we get up the order, it is tight all the way through. You've got like a pack of 4 and then 3s and then the rest of them as they all jockey for position around Mount Panorama.
So then, in amongst that last lap madness, we saw Sidog's actually managed to jump up into 3rd position here, ahead of Norman now. So great recovery after not quite having the qualifying he would have been hoping for, and now just putting his head down, pushing this car, and you know he's not one that's sort of going to sit back and accept a bad result. He's just going to keep pushing every single lap, currently up to 3rd and chasing down Alpha Finn and getting closer and closer by the corner. It looks like he just needs to get a nice exit out of here. This is where you can get a bit of slipstream, try and get down the inside. And then there's battles in the background as well. Norman's good to 82, but we're going to keep an eye here on Sidog. Is he going to be close enough to try and make anything happen? Oh, he's very close. To the outside, is it going to be defending there from Alpha Male Finn? Sidog round the outside? Surely not. No, going to cross back maybe. He's definitely looking for any opportunities, sizing up his opponent. trying to make him work for it. As again, Alpha Male Finn is forced to defend the inside. Psydog's no stranger to try and doing it around the outside, though. As he does it, final corner, Psydog round the outside. What an absolute move. I didn't actually think that one was going to be on, but he just pulls through and gets it done.
2 professional overtakes done there. Psydog sending around the outside in the last corner, and Scooter 82 dispatched of Norm, the other Baykart runner, in Conrod, just slipped on the inside and got through that little fast section. It looks just all academic, really.
What an absolute move. Like you say, there was moves going on in the background as well. Scooter 82 coming through the pack, so a couple of these guys really proving that maybe a starting position isn't necessarily the be-all and
Psydog
end-all.
touched the wall.
Psydog, what's happened?
Starting up his run up the hill, he touched the outside wall and just lost a little bit of speed, so that's opened the door for Alpha Male Finn.
That is just a sign of how hard he's pushing, but a few corners later, he still manages to just open up that gap a little bit again, as Alpha Male Finn is coming under a lot of pressure now of the hard-charging Scooter 82. He got past Norm and straight away got on the back of Alpha Male Finn here, thinking about trying to get a move done. Meanwhile, while all this is happening, W True is just driving off into the distance, and it's built himself out a handy lead at the front of this pack, with a few, halfway through the race, really.
Yeah, well, the time loss has been in Sector 4 last lap for Psydog, where he had to fight Alpha Male Finn. But yeah, like, expect Psydog to quicken up now that he's in some clear air.
Exactly right. He's got that clear air. He's ready to charge. And right now, Scooter 82 is on a charge as well. We saw him sort of thinking about that move down into Forest Elbow. Didn't get it done, and surprisingly hasn't. It's sort of. Oh, and I guess not surprisingly, but I guess it's cost him on the exit because he hasn't closed in as much on the straight where we would expect that slipstream to be playing a role. Definitely a threat, and Alpha Male Finn continues to be under pressure from behind. He's sort of had it this whole race, having to check those mirrors constantly.
Look at how hard they're fighting these races. Like, there's clearly no gentleman's agreement between these teammates. Alpha Male Finn is saying, if you want this position, it's on you to catch up.
And that is... It's actually his teammate there, McEwen, in 5th, who has managed to pass Norm in the meanwhile. But Norm is right there, ready to come back, so... McEwen a little bit roughed up with a few scratches and dents along the side of his car, but still pushing to try and make this recovery and fight back between this front group. These front sort of 5, you can see, have opened up quite a gap to the rest of the pack, but still battling so hard throughout. Love to see it. We're down to just 2 laps left to go now. Keeping an eye on McEwen because he has got Norm all over the back of him.
Further out back, you're exactly right. Looks like Lapwing is trying to get past Airborne. He is shaking side to side and ready to make a move up the hill. Airborne gets loose.
Jumping at that battle now. We're taking a look at Lapwing's perspective. Oh, is he going to think about it here? Airborne gets a slow exit. Lapwing's going to go round the outside. No way. Oh, there's a contact. I thought it was a rough place to try and get a move done. Big drama as he hits the wall.
Yeah, that was a bumper car's overtake there, attempt from Lapwing. He decided to pounce on the outside of Airborne as he touched the inside wall and just trying to hang in through that quick section. He's just touching walls. He's gone full pinball. And
that is what you were talking about. This track can bite back if you get it wrong, and yeah, Lapwing's going to be feeling those bite marks now that after that one, because that was huge. Back to this front battle then. Is it going to make a move there? We're taking a look at Scooter 82 and Norm thinking about a move on the inside. So Norm has managed to get back past McEwen. Oh no, McEwen's made the move now again. It's back and forth. McEwen ahead of Norm. These 4-way battle between these guys. Dubtrue in the lead has managed to pull out and off into the grass. And that could not be closer. I think they're losing a little bit of bump draft there. Oh no!
There's a big bump.
Oh, there's a little bit of connection issues. Sim Racing Special. Thought that was all over.
Looked like they were going to make a move on the inside, and then he physically gets inside of McEwen, but thankfully Gran Turismo Sport doesn't decide to punish them once the server catches up with what's going on.
On to the final lap then now. W True 2.8 second lead. He has been in the control of this race from the start. He won the previous race, of course, really making a claim on this finals round. What great driving we've seen from that man. We haven't seen him so much on screen, but you know, to be ahead of this group, you've got to be putting in Mega effort. It is Psydog in second place, works his way up through the grid a little bit, and now finds himself in a little bit of space. Great driving again from that man, and constantly looking like he's sliding around, but somehow keeping it under control.
Yeah, Dub True has really put on a heck of a performance this week. He's currently leading, got a healthy gap, but what he'll want to hang on to is that fastest lap extra point that he is on song for.
Ooh.
He's got a 158.
Big moment. Sorry, I'm going to interrupt you there because Alpha Finn was into the wall. Scooter 82 got it sideways in the background as well. These guys still battling tooth and nail right down to the wire. So close between this little group here. Can anyone make a move in the closing stages? Losing the slipstream now. Is that going to prove advantage? You can see how much he's closing in here. This is a prime example of what the slipstream can do. We're going to see defensive here from Alpha Male Finn, surely. Yes, he is. Hogging in the middle of the track. Scooter 82 defends the inside as well because McEwen's going around the outside. It's side by side now as they head through the right-hander. Down to the final corner. Norm is in the background. He wants the spot as well. Dub True picks up the win. Sidog's going to be second. But it's a big drama as they head into the final corner. Is Norm going to get it done? I think he's gone straight through the inside. Alpha Male Finn holds on to third. 3 wide across the line. Norm is classified fourth. McEwen and Scooter. What a final few corners. That was massive.
0.032 between AE McEwen and Norm to hold on to P4. So the photoist of photo finishes for our 4th and 5th place getters. Yeah, Scooter 82 separated by like 900th of a second again. Like it's just it's tight all the way through in that 3 wide across the line, and Dub True will be the one holding the trophy.
Congratulations to W True. 2 from 2 tonight. 40 points so far, the maximum he could do, and really looked dominant in that race. What a great drive.
Yeah, like it's the safest way around Mountain Panorama apparently is just go it alone. Good to see that self-isolation practice from Dub True. Manages to avoid all of the carnage, all of the chaos, and it just pays off in spades. And I'm just trying to get to the results now to see. I'm pretty sure he held on to his fastest lap.
How was that then? What a cracking race. Both the first races, sprint races, have been great, and I love that format. We saw the dominance from Dub True. We saw the comeback drives after maybe not the best qualifying for the likes of Psydog. Who else was up there? Actually, let's jump straight in and have a look at how that all affected the championship points, because at the pointy end, things are getting down to the wire. We only have one race left to go, the feature race, and it is 157 points for McEwen, plays 154 for W True, 147 for Psydog, so he's a few points back, but remember, 20 points on the line for a race win. So it really is going to come down to this. Let's try and do some maths here, monkey maths. So the gap is 3 points, right? First place gets 20, second place gets 17, third place gets 15. So if W True wins this race, he's done everything he needs to do. Again, we'll need to work out a tiebreaker if McEwen ends up finishing in second behind Dub True. And then Psydog, if he wins the race, 147, so he's 10 points away from the lead. He needs McEwen to finish. He needs to finish 6th. So it's going to be tough for Psydog to do it. He needs McEwen to have maybe not the best race if he wants to win, but all he can do is focus on driving and trying to get to the top. And as well, I want to mention, we've finally separated the team's championship, at least for the time being. But it's only separated by 3 points. 3 measly little points. It's got to go down to the wire as well.
Yeah, it is tight on the championship table as it was up the hill at Mount Panorama. Like, there is nary a room to breathe. Like, all it'll take is like one mistake here at Dragon Trail Gardens for someone to move up or horrifically down the order. So,
exactly right. Like, you look at, let's take a look at Scooter 82. He's jumped up the leaderboard tonight, currently in 8th, ninth, in 88 points. Even all the way down to Mustang level 81. That is only like a few positions in this final race that could flip that all around. So it is definitely all to play for. The battle there, 5th and 6th, Stuart McKenzie and Alpha Male Finn. Only 2 points between those two, so keep an eye on how that one unfolds. It is going to be absolutely massive. And you mentioned it there, the special shootout format that we use for these races, for these feature races, is going to be awesome. But also we want to keep in mind, this is the feature race. This is a little bit different to the sprint races. So just to take you through it if you are new, the drivers get a choice of medium and hard tires. We saw them using the soft tires in the first 2 races, a little bit different now, medium and hards into the feature, and they'll be jumping onto those mediums for the shootout as well. So quick sort of like mental switch that they have to go through, and definitely the adaptability comes into it. But then once they get to the race, they have to use the hard compound of tires at some point during the race. So this is where strategy comes in. We've also got fuel consumption and tire wear to bear in mind. There you can see fuel consumption rate 1 times. So we don't expect that to play as big a role in this one, but tire wear 9 times. Definitely going to be a factor.
Yeah, I think 9 times might be the highest we've seen all tournament in terms of tire wear rate. So those little Gran Turismo Sport goblins will be chewing away at their contact matches at a great rate of knots. Something for the guys to manage as they throw themselves around the track. The other thing I was spotting is it's 18 laps, so they're out there for a decent length of time.
You say it's going to be massive. Dragon Trail Gardens, of course, a Gran Turismo original circuit. So this is one that was created for this game. Dragon Trail Seaside, of course, is its sister tracks. It's next to it in the virtual world, at least. And
yeah, we were joking about this earlier, and that it looks like the front half of the track hasn't rendered properly, and it looks like the design was done by just like twisting a paperclip until it was just about to break, maybe a clothes peg. It's certainly an interesting shape as our Dragon Trails Gardens track, but there's plenty of long straights, those braking zones where our drivers will be more than happy to put on a send for the fans at home.
And here we go then, it is the final race of the R.S.01 Trophy. We are here at Dragon Trail Gardens, and the grid is lining up with Alpha Male Finn on pole position, Psydog alongside him, McEwen and Scooter 82 on the second row, Norm, Stuart McKenzie on row number 3, but the big story, W True at the back of the grid. Pole position, interesting on this track as well, is on the outside as they head into turn number 1, so keep an eye on who can get the best jump off the line. It's going to be crucial, the lights are on! And we are racing here in the R.S.01 Trophy, the grand finals. Alpha Male Finn got a good jump, but Scooter 82 and McEwen on row number 2, they look like they got great jumps. Psydog's going to try and hold the inside line and hold the lead here at the start of the race. Like it's talked about, second place maybe having an advantage on that inside line. Scooter 82 in the background looking to try and make the most of it as well. Is he going to try and go up there? No, they sort themselves out. Get towards a bit more single file here through the chicane and get through there relatively cleanly. It is... Oh no, in the background, there's a big moment for Ricardo. He was off the track and there's drama through the field. It's Ricardo dropping down, everyone tussling for position on the straight and banging doors and everything. It's 4 wide. Can you believe it? As they head down into the hairpin. Out in front now, looking trying to pull that lead. We talked about how he really needs the win if he wants to try and come back in this championship, and he needs McEwen to finish about 6th position. And doing everything he needs to do. Out in the lead, Alpha Male Finn in second place after starting on pole. That tough outside line, Scooter 82, and then McEwen in the 4th spot for the time being.
So Dub True just on last position start watch. He is up to P10 already going into the last complex of corners, and he's 1.2 seconds back from Victory Lane in P9. Airborne got a little bit lucky. He got really deep into that first hairpin and sent it out wide, but he managed to catch the car, and he is chilling in 8. And Dub True is pitting now.
Dub True started on those hard tyres, so that is massive to see. He's off them now, changing tyres. We talked about, do we see those FIA strategies of the 1 lap, and that is exactly what we have witnessed. He is straight off those onto the mediums, and that's the strategies he's opting for. Already playing a role here on lap number 1.
Yeah, and also interesting to note that he has got off those hards immediately. Looking further up the road, looks like Shocker is gone hard with Lapwing and Airborne.
There's a move for third. McEwen's out the inside. Is he going to do it at the hairpin? Tucks it in. Scooter 82 looking like he wants to cross back. Can he get anything done? I think McEwen sealed that position. Yeah, like you say, lovely.
So that's all the medium runners taking up the first 5 slots. Norm is the first of the front runners to be on the HUDs.
That is definitely an interesting observation. So Norm currently sitting there in P6, but on an alternate strategy from the drivers around him. They might play into his hands later in the race. Of course, all these drivers have to use hard compound tyres at some point during the race, so we're definitely going to see pit stops from this lead bunch. And we could see different strategies playing out from different drivers, and they always come together, though, at the end for that dramatic finish.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see how this shakes out in a couple of pit stops time, because we've clearly got every wrinkle of the brains across this field of drivers being engaged to make sure that they have some advantage. And it looks like Lapwing is going into the pits now. So he is getting rid of his hard tyres. He does not rate them at all.
So another one to use those hard tyres early, switch off them as soon as possible, and maybe following in the footsteps there of W True, just getting rid of them and trying to push now, find space. And I think that's what W True was trying to do. He found himself at the back of the grid. He knew there was going to be traffic. He just wants to change onto the mediums and find space. Psydog doesn't defend. I thought Psydog was going to cover the inside for sure. He leaves it wide open. Alpha Male Finn just tucks in there. I think he almost couldn't believe it. Oh, but Psydog around the outside. Psydog hangs on around the outside of the hairpin. That explains why he didn't defend it. He had confidence that he could just hang on. And that is just great racing between these two.
Can Psydog see through space and time? Like, he must have known that Alpha Male Finn was going to come in, or at least had a really strong chance of coming into that hairpin too hot. And like you say, just kind of steadies the ship, stays the course, and he is P1 net out of that hairpin.
That is massive. We've talked about it a few times through this season, actually, that Psydog can get it done around the outside, and now he's maybe realized that himself and confident enough just to stay around the outside, even when perhaps most drivers would have defended and kind of held that inside line heading into that hairpin.
Oh, he's dunked out. He's taken a big fistful of grass on exit of the first turn. Alpha Male Finn flashing the light now, just letting him know that he spotted that, and he is still in this fight.
It is all to play for in this front group. They are battling it out. Alpha Male Finn now thinking about trying to, where can he line up Psydog? Where can he try and get that run? Doesn't quite get it run through turn one, but now this hairpin, so crucial. Keep it tidy. Oh, I'm getting the power down on the exit. We talk about just having to be gentle on that accelerator. You can hear the tyres complaining as we are on board with McEwen. And watching that front battle between Alpha Male Finn and Psydog up ahead, as now Psydog on the inside. Alpha Male Finn goes deep, very late on the brakes there. Is this going to be an opportunity for McEwen? Not quite, but the pressure is now all on Alpha Male Finn, and Psydog let off the hook a little bit for the time being. McEwen already thinking about moves. He's got pace here through these sweepers.
Here's the interesting thing. As this fight develops between Alpha Male Finn and McEwen, Psydog is just taking this chance to put the pedal down and build up a bit of a gap by just racing as clean as he can, and he's just approaching getting up to a second, but the slipstream will save the next ones in line.
Exactly right. Slipstream down this front straight after they come around this hairpin is going to be a big factor in this race, and it's definitely something that these drivers need to consider, and basically anyone playing Gran Turismo Sport, you need to consider that slipstream being a role. You see it in the FIA races, and you see it here tonight in the R.S.01 Trophy. I do want to also jump back to, where can we find him? Some of these guys that have taken those pit stops are Ricardo. Another one looks like he might have come in as well. But W True sitting in 10th position. He's 13 seconds off the lead, but of course he has made that swap. And if we can click this button right here, we can get a look at how much those tyres are wearing. We're on to lap number 5. There's quite a bit of tyre wear there, so is he going to be able to hang on and race the rest of the race on those mediums? Or are we going to see a 2-stop maybe from those early stoppers?
Yeah, it's really something to consider. As that all develops.
Oh, he's cut in the corner too much. He's picked up a bit of a penalty. Oh, and someone's had a big moment. Who's that?
Stuart McKenzie ran wide and hit the grass, maybe took a chunk of wall, but he's just going to gift up through P9 on his charge up.
We'll try and get a replay of what happened to Stuart McKenzie. Oh, he's involved here with Norm. Bounces over the curb. Does Norm get involved, or is it just the curb incident?
I think.
Oh, yep. He tried to counter steer and catch it after the car just unsettles on that curb. And we've talked about those curbs so much. They're playing a big role in the qualifying and now in the race again. Stuart McKenzie unfortunately caught out on that occasion.
Yeah, that is he'll be ruining that moment here. But now that you see Dub True unleashed a little bit, he is tacked right up into the back of Airborne and is pretty close, if not in his slipstream range. So look for him to make moves like with the pace that he's got, 8th and 7th, and maybe Norm is gettable in the next couple of laps.
And this is going to be some exciting racing, like you say, in the next couple of laps, because W True is on a mission to charge back through the field. Norm now comes in off his hard compound of tyres. He comes in from 7th, it looked like, taking that pit stop. And there we go, coming out of the pits. He's going to emerge around that 8th, 9th or 10th position. But it is W True that we're keeping an eye on, because he is all over the back of Airborne. Oh, getting a little bit wide. Meanwhile, at the front of the battle, we should actually jump to the front, because McEwen has found his way past Alpha Male Finn, now moves up to 2nd place, and this is looking odds on for his championship fight. Just needs to keep it clean and super speedy through the rest of this one.
Dumb True is going to try and hang it around the outside of Honorably Airborne into the hairpin. They're just coming up to the braking zone now, hard on the brakes here as Dumb True moves it up into 7th and overtakes Airborne on the outside. Clean as you like.
And that is a great move there from W True, using that straight line, good exit out of the chicane, got up alongside Airborne and then got it done through the hairpin. Now it moves up to 7th place, and really that recovery drive is all on as he's coming through the field. 14 seconds now at the gap to the lead. Keep an eye on that one, because I'm definitely keen to see how it unfolds towards the end of the race when those front runners do end up making their pit stops.
Yeah, keep running it clean, Dub True, and bring her home, because you'll be saying hello to YouTube before too long if you keep going on the course that you're going. This is just some sensational stuff from you, young man.
Alright then, shall we take a look through the field at some of these gaps? Psydog in the lead. He's just slowly eked it out now that he's got away from that slipstream sort of distance. 2 seconds in the lead at the moment, and it is McEwen in 2nd place after that tussle with Alpha Male Finn. Or that tussle sounds like it was a bad thing. It was a close little battle between those two. But now he's eked it out to 1.5 seconds ahead of his teammate there. That is in 3rd, and the gap's just starting to open up a little bit as things settle down. Alpha Male Thin in 3rd. Scooter 82 picks up a little penalty. We've seen it a couple of times now. W True did the same thing through that chicane, just cutting those corners. That high risk sort of strategy, you risk it in terms of having a spin, and apparently you also risk it in terms of picking up a little penalty, but just slowing down through the braking zone there, and that is enough to get rid of it. Ethan's.
Yeah.
Sorry, carry on.
I was going to say you've got shades of Majoro here at Dragon Trail Gardens, that hairpin. It seems to be a really nice zone to sort of shave off any sort of penalties that you're hanging on to.
Absolutely right. We've seen it a couple of times now, and then it is Ethan's that's going to mention in 5th position. Having a little bit of a quiet night tonight, not sort of in those front battles, but is currently sitting in 5th, so that would be a good result if he can hang on to that one in a little bit of a zone on his own at the time being.
I think for Ethan's, his night, he could do with a little bit of quiet in terms of racing. He's gotten into a couple of tangles throughout the evening, and it's sent him towards the back end of the pack. So I think he's appreciating a bit of social distancing on track.
Alpha Male Finn, the first of our medium stoppers to come into the pits. Sorry, our medium tyre runners to come into the pits. So he made it through 7 laps. I'm guessing he's going to come back out on mediums by the looks of it. So he's going for that 2-stop strategy. That's what we thought might be the case. And we'll expect to see him come in potentially just with 1 lap to go at the end of this race. But onto those medium tyres, still comes out of the pits in 4th position and in a bit of clear air, which is exactly what he needs to try and make the most out of that extra grip he's going to have for these next couple of laps.
Really curious is that the damage from the pit window hasn't been that bad. He only emerged behind Scooter 82, and depending on how feisty he's going, he'll probably check onto the back and get this done on track.
Exactly right. And have we seen W True make a 2nd pit stop? I did not catch it there, but he's now 30 seconds back, so he's a long way back in this one, and got it all to do down in 12th position. I'm not sure how much he can do from there.
Yeah, that's a bit unlucky. I wonder where he got himself into the sand trap. When we cut away the first time, I did see he ran himself a little bit wide into the last corner. So, yeah, just a little bit of a mistake. Just putting a damper on that fairy tale story, because he was looking on song.
So good, picking up the win in the first 2 races tonight. But here coming unstuck at Dragon Trail Gardens. Psydog now, from the lead of the race, comes into the pit. McEwen follows him in as well. So they're going to maintain that distance between the front 2 runners. And fuel not looking like much of a factor, so they just come into the pits, change the tyres, quick, smart, and they are back out there again. The gap about 1.7 seconds, so it has come down just a little bit between these two, as McEwen has got the fastest lap in this race at this point, so he's got plenty of speed in 2nd place at the moment.
Yeah, I mean the fuel levels will be something interesting to keep an eye on. Like, probably not so much in terms of like need to refuel, but you know, Sidog's down to about 54, and McEwen was looking nice. The indicator saying 69 on the board as he took his hit, but I can't imagine you're in danger of running out before. No, you're definitely not.
Oh man, the streamer maths coming into play as we
Yeah.
try and work it all out. Remember, these drivers out on track, they'll be trying to work some things out like this as well, on top of doing all this driving action and trying to maintain the most speed they can. So in the end, Sidog and McEwen did come out ahead of Alpha Male Finn. I think he closed that gap a little bit, having done that one lap undercut there, but yeah, he's trying to tack onto the back of these guys and make it back close once again. These guys just setting such fast lap times now at the moment, though, that it's going to be tough to sort of have any advantage over them.
Yeah, like the top two runners, there's only 0.2 of a second separating their best laps, and they're even they're pretty close still when it comes to like last laps being run. So really, like we're almost into the territory where like it'll be mistakes that define this race.
Exactly right, and that could define the race up and down the field as well. Let's take a look at the battle now in this mid-pack. We see the mid-pack so close together in terms of the championship, and close together out on track as well. Scooter! Oh, sorry, Stuart McKenzie. Crikey, he caught me off guard a little bit there as he gets sideways out of the hairpin. Now charging down the straight. We saw Ethan's come into the pits. He's going to come out in front of this group, get back out there. But these guys close together on the track now.
Stuart McKenzie he's keen to wander the outside, and he's just thrown himself into the side of Airborne. That's opened the door for Lapwing, who closes right in. He was on the outside looking in on that battle, and now he looks like he could be in a position to go 2 for 1 into the hairpin, depending on how quickly these guys compose themselves. But that's a big unlucky for Airborne, who was like the outside wall barrier for Stuart McKenzie as he just had an excursion.
Oh, and he's going deep as Stuart McKenzie on the brakes, but still gets turned in. Airborne crossing back. Can he get it done on the exit? Lapwing's amongst it as well. I think there was a car behind these guys getting involved. It's a three-way battle. Oh, over the curb. These cars all sorts of out of shape as they try and keep it under control and try and get the position if they can. Squirreling through the exit. It's great onboard of Victory Rain as he gets squirrely on the exit of that one as they now head through the 1,000 apexes. Airborne putting a lot of pressure on McKenzie up in front of these guys.
It's scary watching Stuart McKenzie drive. I mean, you hear that old saying of driving to 10 tenths. I think Stuart McKenzie's found the 11th because each time he gets on the power, it threatens to step out on him, and I'm never sure if he's going to get away. I'm going to watch him through this hairpin. Watch him get onto the power. Seems like he's sorted out for this one as he makes his run for the pits. Victory Rain will throw him in here, and Airborne will thank them very much for the clear air because it must be damaging for the mental to just have that sort of racer just crowding out your rear mirror and well, basically running up to into the side of you on that last lap.
And it was interesting to see there as well. He was actually on the hard compound of tyres before he made that pit stop there. So really just trying to make the most of that situation. But that's why Airborne was all over him running on those mediums. Let's get a replay now, can we, of that massive incident of Stuart McKenzie getting all sorts of out of shape. You can see he just did it all on his own and then ended up banging doors with Airborne as he tries to gather it back up. And Airborne did sneak through, but then this battle continued. We saw it for the rest of the lap until they came into the pits. How hectic was that?
Pretty well done from Airborne not to end up not only in the Shadow Realm, but in the Shadow Realm because Stuart McKenzie came at him at a great rate of knots, so well held from you.
And thank you for the host there, Damo Legend. So we hear the massive revving on the stream. Love to hear those sounds, and love to have the support from the community. This is a battle here we're looking at Victory Rain as he's hunting down Honorably Airborne now. Airborne sort of unleashed a little bit after getting past Stuart McKenzie now and setting some good speed. Victory Rain not really able to close that gap. These guys very similar on pace, and that's what we expect to see in this top group, the top 14 drivers here tonight in the series for the grand final, and they're so close together on the pace.
Yeah, I mean, like we've got a bunch of storylines unfolding here. Ricardo's got one of redemption. He had a really bad run in what do you call it, the first lap where he ran out in the chicane, and he has been just trying to fight back ever since. He's about 4 seconds back from Dub True and 11th, and he's just pitted for his medium. So we'll see if he can't sort of get a couple of on-track battles under his belt to feel a little bit better about the night.
Exactly right, and you mentioned W True there as well. W True closing in on the back of a Lapwing now, so he tries to make that recovery drive. Fortunately had a bit of an incident earlier in the race, it seems, and put him right towards the back, but charging hard and about to lock horns with Lapwing, who gets it a little bit wide, gets it out sideways, catches it though, doesn't lose too much time.
Yeah, the being able to hold on to his momentum is probably the most surprising thing, because it looked like he was just going to kill everything off with that big slide. But she's not over yet, Dub True. Let's see what he does here. Is it outside or inside through the all 1,000 of these apexes? He's just still hanging that nose in there, threatening. And this looks like it might give him the better run into that big square boy at the end of the lap.
He just had his nose tucked in there enough, and Lapwing gave him space. Oh, he crosses back!
He's switching.
What a last-minute dive! Oh, but he's gone too deep. Lapwing just sees it come and switches back. Now it's all about that exit. What a time! Desperation, you feel like, from W True there. And eventually, they switch places about 3 times in one corner. Eventually, W True comes through in front and now defends down as they head towards turn number 1. And looks like there's going to be Honorably Airborne getting caught up in this battle as well, as he just comes out from the pits. It's going to be a 3-way fight now. This is great stuff to see.
Just 13 laps deep and we're still getting just like non-stop action. That was a heck of a third sector in terms of on-track battling, and just the mightiest of lunges. Clearly Dub True's been to the gym lately.
And we want to catch you on this battle as well, because this battle is up and down the field. Stuart McKenzie, Victory Rain going at it, and again we're going to see that crossback play a role. Victory Rain, oh man, trying to get that power down. Can't quite get enough of it onto the track as he switches back. Stuart McKenzie hangs on to the position as they head into the sweepers. This is cracking stuff. I love to see it.
Dub True here, it looks like he's found another victim here. He's looking to dispatch of Honorably Airborne sooner rather than later and see if he can't get himself into the fight. After this one, gets a little bit tougher. It's a 4-second gap up to Victory Rain, but you can see just swarming the rear brake lights of our man Airborne, the FIFA Pro himself.
And we're going to keep an eye as they head down into the airport, because this is where Dub True made that bold move one lap ago. Is he going to think about doing anything like that again? Not on this occasion. He just tucks in. Lapwing gets very wide in the background. That's going to cost him time out of track. Is he going to recover? He is, but he has lost seconds there. So we'll get on board with Lapwing. You can just see how much that gap has opened up, and now it's W True looking to the inside of Honorably Airborne as they head into turn number 1. He's going to get it done nice and tidy, and you've got to feel like Honorably Airborne kind of let that one happen. Although he is crossing back and trying to, oh man, a little bit out of shape, catches it. And eventually W True claims the spot.
Yeah, he's happy to sit back there and follow his line.
Oh!
Got a little bit out of sorts there, sliding on the exit of that chicane. And that is going to be the end of that battle for at least a little bit. He's going to lose a lot of momentum up that big long straight, and Dub True will be unleashed to hunt down Victory Rain up in 8th position.
So then let's take a look now back to our front runners. It is still Psydog out in front, but that gap has been slowly chipped away, just consistently chipping away at it is McEwen, putting in fast laps. Still has that fastest lap time. He's got even faster now, 28.7 after putting those fresh tyres on, and I believe these guys are on the medium tyres now, so expect to see them come in at the end of the race. We'll get confirmation. You can see in the middle there, their tyres racing medium. Scooter 82, the first runner on the hards, opting for a different strategy, maybe trying to do one less pit stop than the rest of them.
Yeah, I'd be curious to get inside someone like Scooter's head and just see how he's trying to play this one. A lot of these guys seem to be shucking those hards as quickly as they can, because there's probably not enough pace in them for their personal taste. But interesting to note now that McEwen's just getting his run up to the hairpin and is well inside that slipstream window. So just hats off to McEwen for refusing to make this easy for our front runner.
Exactly right. He's tucked into that slipstream range now, and that could be huge in this battle for the lead of the race. The feature race, the final race of the R.S.01 Trophy. Everyone wants to stake their claim on this one, and right now it's between Psydog and McEwen. Who can hang on? So, McEwen hunting, patiently pushing, trying to close that gap. And now, losing that slipstream, you can see with every second on these straights, just closing in those tenths.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they've still got one more box, or need to pit for those hards, so that 10-second gap to Scooter. You're just going to have to hope that it is large enough. I think it's about 9 to 10. They won't be pitting for fuel, so that'll help them out here. But yeah, hopefully these guys don't knock each other off the track, and they can maybe get a little bit more comfort room by sending it for the next couple of laps. But they'll have to bring it in inside of 2 laps to make sure they use the correct compounds.
We're getting it down to the wire now, and it is getting close between these guys. Again, McEwen opting to use that different line, run right over that curve. There you see the car just launched into the sky.
It's a big jump. Sorry, I just watched it back in delay.
Here we go, though. He's using that slipstream. He's thinking about going to the inside. Does the inside, decides better of it. He tucks back in behind Sidog now, and there is nothing between these two with only a few laps left to run. Who is going to claim the victory? You can't call it.
No, these boys are. It's like they're fighting their own shadows, fighting their reflection in the mirrors. Whatever tired cliche you want to use, these guys have they've just been attached to each other for the whole series, and it's been for the better in terms of like the series and entertainment, because it doesn't get any better than this.
It really doesn't. This has been cracking racing all night, and it's going to go right down to the final lap by the looks of it. Let's keep an eye on what happens down into the hairpin. Is McEwen going to think about it this time? He's maybe not quite close enough. He wants to sort of eye up and make sure he lines up the best opportunity. Sometimes if you make a dive too early, it can end up costing you more time if you don't get it done. So he's just waiting for the right prime opportunity. He comes into the pits. He comes into the pits early. Sidog stays out, so there's a difference in strategy here. He's going to put the medium tires on and hope that he'll be unleashed, get some clear air away from Sidog. Where's Alpha Male Finn come out in relation to all of this?
He's still in third by the looks of it.
So the pit stop very quick there with his pit crew on form, only losing about 6 seconds in the end. But now he needs to push now. The undercut is going to play a role, and it's going to hopefully give me an opportunity to see some of these other battles unfolding as well.
Even more curious is that what the gap was 6 seconds just under now, so it'll be curious to see if McEwen can shrink that window to Sidog. It's well and truly, to borrow from Formula 1, hammer time for Sidog.
And this is why he made that box. We look at Sidog and look at those tyres in the bottom left. They are well worn. That's what that red is on the left-hand side. And he is going to be struggling and a little bit slower. McEwen's banking on the fact that maybe the hard tyres are going to be faster than those worn mediums. And it's going to be interesting to see how it unpacks itself. Both these drivers know what's on the line. They will both be full focus on this lap. This could be the deciding lap, as Sidog going to have to box at the end of this one. Come into the pits after this hairpin. What is going to happen?
Yep, Sidog will box for those things, and we'll see if 5.9 seconds or thereabouts is quick enough to stay ahead of McEwen. Dubtrue's managed to dispatch victory reign, so he'll probably have to settle for 8th in this race with a 8-second gap to Stuart McKenzie, but that is still a valiant effort as we watch Sidog come into the pits.
There you go, Sidog coming into the pits. I'm keeping an eye here on McEwen because we want to see where Sidog comes out of the pits relative to him. There's the exit of the pit lane there. He's coming out now, but he's slow, trying to get back up to speed. Is he going to be able to hold on to the lead here? He's going to tuck it to the inside. McEwen's coming flying at full pace at the end of the straight. And it looks like Sidog is going to be able to hang on to the lead of this race as we head now onto the final lap. And it's going to be slipstream, though, for McEwen. Can he find his place to get it done? Oh, he's got a good exit out of that corner as well. Could be heading down into the hairpin. A good opportunity. Is Sidog going to cover this time? Yes, he is. He takes the inside line. McEwen to the outside. What's going to happen here? Who knows? Side by side into the hairpin. Sidog on the inside. We've seen Sidog hold the outside, though. McEwen can't get it done. Is he going to cross back? No, Sidog holds off nicely. McEwen's trying to find a way through. 2 wheels on the grass. Last lap, he wants to get it done. Through the S's now. Got to try and line up a good exit. There's only a few more corners left. Couple more overtaking spots. Can Sidog hang on?
You feel the setup coming for the big square boy at the end of the lap. See who gets the best launch out of there, because McEwen is just happy to stick to Sidog like glue. Let's see how he sets it up through this big run.
And this is where it's going to come down to the final corner, the big hairpin. McEwen's thinking about the inside. Is he close enough? Maybe not on this occasion. Oh, he gets the curb! He hit the curb and got sideways. He wants the exit now as they head down to the straight. Sidog might be able to hang on. They come down to the line. McEwen's going to have the slipstream, but it is going to be Sidog crossing the line, winning the race. McEwen in second, just 1/10 behind. What a finish.
That is absolute just madness. Well done calling that one over the line. Norm will take the last step on the podium. Well done for the Bay Kart boys there. Scooter 82 looking pretty happy in fourth, and Alpha Male Finn just a little bit up the road for fifth.
And that
Then
was
you've got
strategy there,
Gabs-
I have to say, between third, fourth, and fifth
It
there. So
was.
it played out right at the end. Alpha Male Finn was in third for so long, but the strategy of the boys, Norm and Scooter 82, put them up into third and fourth. So great job from those guys. And like you said,
Formation flying for seventh and eighth. Ethan's and
Oh!
Doug Drew crossing the line slowly there. They slowed right up in that front straight. They both finish ahead of Victory Rain. So the fill-in for Hoon Corp doing well to finish inside the top 10. Then you've got Honorably Airworn, Lapwing, and the Ricardo.
someone who will not be dark right now is Dog 2. Simon Bishop picking up the win after a massive race there. 18 laps of Dragon Trail Gardens did not disappoint. Congratulations to that man.
Oh, the big old fist bump, holding the cup to make it all official. Winning looks good on you, sir.
And I have to say a big congratulations to McEwen, who did enough, got the points he needed in second place to claim the championship here in the R.S.01 Trophy. Congratulations to that man, looking good all season and producing the result here in the final race as well, and producing some great racing to keep us entertained along the way. There we go then. Quick little break while we tally the scores, and let's just jump straight into looking at those. Confirmation that McEwen ended up on the front, 174 points there for the season. Congratulations once again to that man. Psydog ending up in second place there, 167. He did everything he could at the end, but it wasn't quite enough. McEwen just had that pace in that final race to stick with him. W True, hard luck in the final race, but he can be proud of his season for sure. In third place, 163 points. That final race, where Psydog picked up that win, Norm having a great result as well to get in third. That was the difference in the team's championship. Bay Kart Racing picking up the team's win. Congratulations to Norm and Psydog for that one as well. Just absolutely nutty. Red Sector Racing in third. Dub True and Ethan's doing a solid job to keep themselves on the podium. And Rivals Reunited, Stuart McKenzie doing enough tonight to jump his team up to fourth position. Great job.
I'd like to take the opportunity to thank you, Matt, for having me on this stream, because it's opened my eyes to just how great the racing can be in Gran Turismo Sport. And at this point, I just kind of want to retool and go again for the next one.
Exactly right. No, thanks for joining me, EVP. It's been huge, and it's been great having you on the commentary. Thanks as well to our admins behind the scenes. Ethans and Nizmanath have done a lot during this season to make it all work as well as it has. So credit to those guys. And thanks everyone, all the drivers. What a huge season they've put on. What a huge night of racing. I'll take you back to the first race of the night. Fuji, how good was that? So close through the whole race. Bathurst then as well, producing some spectacular racing, and then that final at Dragon Trail Gardens, so good. And that's going to be us though for tonight. That's going to be us for the RS01 Trophy. We'll be back later in the year. The Time Trial Series is going to be the next one that contributes to the virtual to reality. Then we've got 2K Cup Series later in the year as well.
It's been an honor and a privilege. I look forward to seeing you on the next go around. Till then, I believe the saying around here is stay awesome.
Thank you for saving me. Stay awesome, everyone. Stay awesome.